Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi guys, welcome to episode 186 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. So this last week, I had a meeting with my functional medicine doctor. I've been on this nutritional protocol that he gave me. I've been doing it for a few months with the goal, the ultimate goal was getting rid of yeast that was in my gut. You should not have yeast in your gut. Dr. Osborne says it causes a lot of problems. It could even lead to cancer. So of course I wanted to get rid of that. Anyway, I retested recently and it's gone. So I was super excited because I pretty much did a complete overhaul of my diet. Like I completely changed the way I eat. And I feel really good. My mind feels super clear. My joint issues are almost cleared up. And I'm where I want to be size-wise. So of course I love all of that. Now, during my meeting with Dr. Osborne, he asked me about the symptoms that I had originally talked about and how each one of them was doing. So many are gone, and there are a few that are better but kind of lingering. But there's one that went away, and it's kind of returned a little bit recently. And I'll tell you what it is. It's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, I love wearing heels when we go out. But my big toe, for the last probably year, hurts really bad when I would wear high heels. And it started getting a lot better as I was doing the protocol. But recently, in the last few weeks, it started hurting again. So he was asking me my routines and what, if anything, had changed and when exactly did it start hurting again. And when we really started kind of breaking it down, I think we quickly realized the problem. Over Halloween, I did some damage to chocolate and peanut butter to be exact. And I also, in the last few weeks, have started having a couple skinny margaritas, which I hadn't been doing that for a while either. So he told me that I was in the danger zone, which sounded really ominous. But he said lots of people he's worked with experience it, so don't fret. All right, so here's what it is. You work super hard, you start feeling a lot better, and then every once in a while you eat or drink something that you had cut out of your diet. That every once in a while turns into more frequent, and eventually you're right back where you started. And of course, I did not like the sound of that. But it's true. I was slipping a little. So what changed? Well, for the last 3 months, we've had my husband's sister and her guy living with us until they move into their new house. They moved here from California, and we're so glad. I mean, we have enjoyed them so much. I'm going to be sad when they move out. But here's the thing. So he likes to keep those little Snickers in the freezer. And for almost the first 2.5 months, I never touched one. Didn't even faze me. But once I started slacking a little, I started noticing them, and I snuck one, and then I snuck another. You see, it's super easy to get off track, and the farther you let yourself get, the harder it is to get back on track. But why all of a sudden was I having a hard time with self-control? So I was listening to Dr. Atia's podcast this last week. Now, sometimes his medical episodes go way over my head. But he was interviewing James Clear, and so I knew I would love the episode. I love James Clear. He wrote the book Atomic Habits. I actually did a whole episode where I interviewed his book because he wasn't available. I thought it turned out fine. Anyway, he talks all about habits and how we're pretty similar as humans. I mean, we think there are people that are super disciplined, and there obviously are some, but most of us are similar. The most disciplined people you know are probably just better at structuring their life so they don't have to use heroic willpower and self-esteem or self-control all the time. He says the key to self-control is basically not really having to need it. So Eric and I would never normally have Snickers in the freezer, and we rarely ever ate Mexican. We had stopped doing it because we recognized it was not helping us reach our goals. You see, having the Snickers around caused me to need heroic type self-control. And I absolutely love my sister-in-law and her guy, and we had so much fun at the Mexican restaurant, we just decided to make it a weekly thing. My self-control is being tested regularly because every time I open the freezer, there are those little Snicker bars, and every time we go to the Mexican restaurant, I kind of want a skinny margarita. So the moral of the story is this. If you want to have a more healthy diet, the key is to only have healthy food around. If you want to exercise more, you have to make it where you almost trip over your gym clothes. You want to stop scrolling on Instagram all the time? Delete the app. You want to stop grabbing a daily donut? Drive a route that doesn't include you seeing the donut shop. Most of us don't have infinite willpower, so we have to give ourselves a chance by taking away the temptation. I interviewed Alessia Wilson. She's mindoverbody.me, and she literally uninstalls Instagram every evening so she can spend time with her family and then reinstalls it in the morning because she uses it for work. The point is, your environment has more to do with your ability to be disciplined than any willpower you can try to muster up. If you don't have Snickers laying around the house, you aren't going to have to say no to them. My challenge to you this week is to pinpoint an area where you've been struggling with self-control and ask yourself, what environment do I need to create to make this happen? And then do it. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.